a blessing to Nigeria.
And if I'm not mistaken, guys,
Nigeria, I'll tell you.
I think Lukman is our best player now. If we're not mistaken,
Yes.
let's just take it that way. And I also saw one player too. He came in for 10 seconds after the game. I don't go mention the player's name. He came in for 10 seconds. So, guys, so I know that I don't know, he's going to be very soon because he's asking to something very urgent. But let me just go to who will be the new manager. I was talking about that. So now, guys, let's try and actually look at the shortlist of who do you think will be the man that will take Nigeria to the Mundial. So this is the players people actually have. So the first one is Schmidt. A lot some of you actually we know him very well. But you know, if you are very familiar with the NFF, sorry, I think that I can see echoes. So I don't know, maybe you can actually just off the other device. I don't know. Please off the other device. You're used to listening to us. I don't know. Maybe there's echo coming from somewhere. Okay. So if you are NFF, very well. If you are, these are due to speculation actually. If you are used to NFF, you will know the coach they will employ. You will know the coach they will employ. If you are used to it very well, you will know the coach that the NFF will actually will employ. But let me just give you the profile quickly of these coaches. So the first one I see here is Roger Schmidt. So that is his last job was Benfica. He was a Benfica manager. So a very pragmatic, a very a no-nonsense coach. He's a guy that you cannot actually put your finger into his eyes. He's okay. He's gonna actually bite you. He's a disciplinarian. So and his favorite formation is like Genetro. Is 4-2-3-1. Unfortunately, I don't think we have any player to play a back four system. So so he can also adjust and actually play a 3-4-3 formation, but occasionally he plays like a 3-4-3 formation. But I have observed that when it's like going away from home, okay, right. So I've observed that when it's going away from home, it tends to actually play like a 3-4-3 formation. So it's just a guy that's trying to actually be conservative too when actually playing away from home. He also play like a 6-6 too, a 4-4-2 formation. So that's his formation, but his preferred formation is 4-2-3-1. So I'm going to actually welcome my another guest here, Chris from Germany, actually joining quickly. Oh, sorry. So I'm going to welcome my another guest here, Chris. You can mute yourself, Chris. Chris, can you off the device? Okay, just off that one.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Can you off the device?
Yeah, I am. I'm. Hold on a bit. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was watching on both channels. I'm sorry.
Okay, right. Okay, no problem. So next one is going to be Gustavo Poyet. A lot of you guys, if you've been following the Obi-Wan podcast, you know that he went to Mikel Obi, discussed with Mikel Obi about the Super Eagles. The NFF contacted him too about the Super Eagles job, and he just asked about how it's like in Nigeria and everything. His last job as a coach was actually he coached Greece national team, and he failed to qualify for the last Euros when he lost to Georgia in this final playoff. He lost to Georgia. So I think when he lost to Georgia, he lost his job after that game. So from there, he's actually unemployed. So his last game as a manager was March 26, 2024. The last game for Rafael Smith as a manager was was actually was August 30, 2024. So this man, a lot of people familiar with him. You don't need any introduction. It's called Rafael Benitez. So it was he granted one interview about 2 weeks ago based on is he going to be available for a national team job? Is he going to be, what's his next step now in his career? He said it's going to be he wants to coach the national team. So they tried to tell him that, are you going to coach Norway? He was just focused on saying that he wants to just coach the national team. And players are saying that he might actually would be opening to actually to work in Africa. But his own formation, from Liverpool, he was in Liverpool, he was in Chelsea, he was everywhere, he was even in Inter Milan. So his last job was in Celta Vigo, imagine he was sacked in Celta Vigo. So you won't say that he's actually what, at his best. So he can play a 3-4-3 formation and also what, a 5-4-1 formation. But let me just start with Roger Schmidt. Do you know any of this manager, Idoton? And what can you say about them?
Okay, I know the three of them.
Yes. So I
But
talk about.
I know the three of them, but I know Rafael Benitez more as a manager than the other two. But we all knew Gustavo Poyet when he was playing, was a rugged midfielder.
Yeah.
And I think I followed him in Greece. In Greece, not I didn't do well. I think the job was just too much. That match I didn't qualify against Georgia. I'm going to tell you now, because in Europe, you all will agree with me that Georgia is one of the most formidable teams now in Europe, because now they got to a club of players that are doing very well. So losing to Georgia, to me, is like Nigeria losing to let me say,
Senegal.
Now, so that just it didn't do value in but when it is up in football, you are being employed to qualify. If you don't qualify, you lose your job. I think that's just the reason. Then Roger Smith, I don't think he's a bad coach too. But Rafael Benitez, I'm scared of Rafael Benitez, because sometimes he's like, to me, he has a little similarity with Ego. He can start well, but by the time you start dealing with him, you look as if he doesn't know how to. He's not a good coach, but he has not had to do that national team before. If I'm going to pick one, I'm going to pick Gustavo Poyet, because he has done a national team job before. I get people, national team is a different ball game. It is different from club side football. So, but if I'm going to employ, I will vote for Gustavo Poyet.
Yeah, let me also just go to Chris. So, in terms of nationality, Roger Smith is actually what, German, Poyet is actually what, Uruguayan, American, and Chris Benitez is Spanish. So, in terms of like football philosophy, Chris, which one do you think can actually work well for Nigeria? Is it going to be the German football with Roger Smith? Is it going to be the Spanish football with Rafael Benitez, or the South American rugged style of football with Gustavo Poyet? Which one do you think might actually even help Nigeria?
Okay, for me, I think in regards to the setup of the national team and how it is, and we know how unprofessional they are. I think the best suited person here is the German, because Germans are very how do I say, like, they are no nonsense people, and we need a coach that can stand his ground and be able to instill his plans on what he wants to do. Because I think when you look at Pro, he was able to do that in some at some level. So for me, I think the German is going to be the. I'll pick the German, because I feel like just that alone will be able to, because I think, like, being a Super Eagles coach is not a joke, man. Like, there's a lot of things you're going to encounter. Like the stuff we spoke about, like you spoke about the other day on your live, about how they forced the government to pick players. These are things that you can't try with a German. So it's something that like it will come with some resistance. So I think for me, I will definitely go with the German, because
so
I know
are you going with German because you are from Germany?
No, I think that also, because like I've lived with them. I know the kind of people they are. I know how like they are brutally honest, man. Like they will say to you how it is.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you for that. I'm still coming to you. I have to ask this question because it's you that can answer it. Who among them do you think the NFF can owe money? Who among them do you think the NFF can owe money?
If I
Who
go to
among them that will not run away when they owe him money?
I will, because if I want to look at I'll think Schmidt, because I believe that I know Gustavo Poyet. I think he still had that mentality as a player. We all knew when he was playing. We knew kind of how ferocious he was. We were very disciplined. Then he was somebody that he was a player that never took nonsense of anybody, not from even from his teammates. We all knew him, you know. But I don't think NFF want to owe Gustavo Poyet because he's very disciplined. And when I check the look at the statistics record in Greece, 22 matches, he won 12 matches, you know. Yes, he won 12. He drew 4 and lost 6. And lost 6, which is already a good record for him. But they might want to owe Benitez because he's a calm person. Benitez is calm. Roger Schmidt is a German. We've had Germans that chance that they owed. They owed a fellow German.
Yeah.
So I think the only person can owe is Roger Schmidt because he's the less known among the 3 of them. Or let me know, lesser known among the 3 of them. Because we know Gustavo Poyet, you know Benitez, the second speaks for him. He has handled many beatings. Liverpool, Madrid, Napoli, all the beatings. So the second speaks for him. I don't think they can do nonsense with him.
And thank you. If you look at, let me just talk about these guys. If you look at, if you know the NFF very well and you know them very well, you know, there's one obvious choice here. Is the man in the middle. I have to be honest with you. Is the man in the middle. You know, they will look for someone that, because, for example, now, I think Obimike already explained to him that you won't get paid, though, but you will work with what? With the best players. So for him to actually agree already that, you know, he might not be actually be getting money. I think that, you know, he can actually work with them. And secondly, too, Rafael Benitez, I think his dream now is to take a team to the World Cup. Do you think he actually fancy chances with Nigeria? I think so. If you look at the groups very well, that okay, I have a away game against Rwanda. I think could be if I talk to a manager that can go to South Africa and go and beat them in Johannesburg, he's go with Rafael Benitez. You know, that can go and like at coach Ugo Bruce and beat them in Johannesburg.
I agree with you.
Yeah, he's go with Rafael Benitez. So that is my personal take. Benitez is a coach, not a league coach. He's a knockout coach. He's okay. He's a guy that knows how to get into like cup games and do well. Do you think he's past his best? I don't think so. The manager will be a manager. But I just think that when he sees the depth of players in the Nigerian national team, I think that Rafael Benitez will actually take Nigeria to the World Cup. I hope the sport ministry can put this one through. I hope that they can actually be able to remove everything, because these guys on the screen now, I don't think that the expert is the cheapest. But I don't think that I think the NFF, and if we hire Benitez, we win the AFCON in Morocco. I agree with you too. If we hire Benitez, we might probably win the AFCON in Morocco. It's a guy that can know how to just knock out manager, quick fix. But what I know is that if we get in, we will qualify for the World Cup. I know that. So you can mute yourself, also, please. You can hear noise in the background. You can mute yourself.
I think it's Chris, not me.
Okay, it's Chris. So I also let me just ask you this question before Chris gets ready. I'm going to go to Chris too. Richard Schmidt. His preferred formation is a 4-2-3-1. which players do you think can help Rafael Smith succeed in national team? I don't know.
I think all our players can help him succeed because you know why? I never believed that our players will play the formation they play for Parcero at the AFCON. What these guys need is a disciplined coach. Our players can, all our players, Nigerian players, can play for him any formation.
Yeah.
All they want they just want to respect the coach. That's why I say I agree with you that they want to respect Benitez of his name. He has coached world class players. And that was why I said, even coaches too, they know people that the whole coaches people that are better than them.
Yeah.
You can't tell me if you go boost this Benitez, you go boost be convinced that this Benitez, you know better than coach Man, than coach Liverpool, Madrid and go. The man will be jittery. Like I said, Benitez is going to coach Hugo Bruce.
Yeah.
But I still agree that all players can play, they can help any coach with any formation. All they want to just be coach be disciplined. They are going to get job done for him. Thank you.
So yes, thank you. So for me, I think the 4-2-3-1 formation, I think he's going to use a double pivots, double six. The way our national team is structured, I think it's going to be in the and maybe probably Onyedika in that midfield. And those two guys, very important to that formation. And up front, it's going to be Lookman. You know, I just hope that he can actually get it right. But for me, this is the formation that Genetro used to use. You know, and it seems similar German formation. You know, a 4-2-3-1 formation. But you know, the only drawback in this formation is that we don't have the talent to play a 4 at the back system. And the reason why we cannot play 4 at the back system is because of our captain, William Joseph. He's not comfortable in that 4 at the back system. And even Semi Ajayi and Kevin Bassey cannot even play at the 4 at the back system.
Yes.
So even Balogun and Eko cannot. So for me, it's going to be a very big issue. But Chris, what can you say about Rafael Smith's 4-2-3-1 formation?
In regards to the defense, you know, like you said, the reason why we can't play the back 4 is because of Akon, you know. But also, I think like there's a whole lot of things that needs to be for Roger Schmidt to be able to carry that formation. We need to cut some players off. We need to fix some part of our team, because for me, I do believe that our defense and our midfield is still below par. Like there's still a lot of sorting out to do, you know. And I think this is the period where we need to start easing Akon out of the team. It might sound crazy to some people, but I think this is the time we need to start easing Akon out of the team and try to create, get 2 center backs that understand each other. Because that is like that is where we need to start from if we want to really build a team that can go to the World Cup and compete. Yeah. We need to start from getting 2 center backs that are good and can play with each other.
Yeah.
Because for the midfield we have Onyedika, and I think Onyedika and Ndidi as a double pivot is good. Is quite balanced, but we need that defense to be locked in. And we have Bassey, and I think Bassey is good, but Bassey is too rash, man. Bassey is too aggressive. We need someone that's calm, you know, someone that complements his style.
But I want to ask you a question. Do you think that Susan Darabioyo, if he, because you know, he doesn't have any option of going to Nigeria? Do you think that Susan Darabioyo will complement him in that defensive lineup? Because the way they were doing for Fulham together last season.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you think that too much work?
I was really, I was thinking that by now he should be playing for Nigeria by now, but I think if we can get him, that is a good start. Because at Fulham they understood each other, and you can see both of them. You can tell that Tosin is the calm part, and Ekong was. But the only thing now is that Tosin is not fast. You understand? And I noticed the game they played against Liverpool, how he struggled with keeping up with Luis and Salah and those guys. And this that's that we need. Whoever that's gonna partner Bassi needs to be fast, because in the region that we play, we have very fast players, and that's something that Ekong struggles with. Fast players.
For me, I think that the guy from Besiktas. Well, when we get to Turkey, we'll talk about him. The guy from Besiktas, I think can actually be a good replacement or sub for Bassi. For this guy, he's a very tough player. His recovery is mad. So
we need that. This is what we need.
I want to say that I think Tosin can fit in. I want to say Tosin can fit in, and because I was in most of it, I was in match that season when he was playing Bassi. I think they have that chemistry, they have that chemistry.
Yeah.
Another player that I don't know his age though. Another player that I want for us to look at is that guy that moved from Eibar to Austria. That guy has been doing well week in, week out. But my problem is just that these were players that would have tried or tested, during when we had the 2 friendly windows, but we didn't take advantage of that because the coach then just wanted to win the 2 matches, maybe just to get the job. But unfortunately,
I want to ask you a question about that Austrian guy. When last did the Austrian-based player play for Nigeria?
I think it's been long. I think the last one I played was Olarewaju.
Did he perform?
No, he didn't perform well. But
another player played was Akuegbu. Remember?
Yeah.
What came out of it? See, he needs to leave that Austrian league and go and test himself.
But when Robocop played, Robocop did well. Even though he left.
But you cannot say Robocop was a mainstay in national team. That's what I myself. You cannot say Robocop was a mainstay. He was just somebody that will sit on the bench, and don't forget that even the time that he was even playing, he was in Sochaux.
He has gone to Sochaux then.
Yeah, he has gone to Sochaux. So for me, so let's quickly look at because I'm wrapping it up now. Look at Rafael Benitez.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Let's say you are one of these coaches, and you get the job. How many players do you think you need to cut from this team?
For me, if I'm the manager, and I'm saying it here. Some players are against the NFF employing a foreign coach because they will not get invitation.
Yes.
They know them. They'll be saying that with the hear say I won't collect foreign coach. We don't hear them. So I don't know maybe you can show what this is. So for me, I will not invite Iheanacho for now.
Yes.
I will not invite him for now. And for Chukwueze, I will invite him, but I will have to look for a player that can play in that position so that he knows that when he's coming, he's not guaranteed of playing. And I think Iheanacho is actually what the media culprit. I have to actually make sure I would get rid of him in the national team. So let me just for me, like I told you here, the guy that if you're going to employ any coach, the guy that will be national NFF can be able to talk to and employ is the guy in the middle. That's how I just think that. But let me just look at Rafael Benitez quickly. I know that it's going to be if Tengira could pull up employ Rafael Benitez, it's going to be a very big coup. So let me just look at Rafael Benitez. He uses 3-5-2 and 4-5-1. It was not 4-5-1 that Pastor was using, and we nearly roast him during AFCON. 5-4-1. Sorry. So for me, I just want to pick out one formation here from Rafael Benitez, a 3-5-2 formation. I think if Nigeria want to get a result against Rwanda in Kigali, it's going to be a 3-5-2 formation. Or you use a 3-6-1 formation.
Mm-hmm.
You need to take the ball off Rwanda. They must not have the ball.
Yeah.
When they don't have the ball and you have two players up front, Lukman and Osimhen, you will kill them in Kigali. You will kill them in Kigali. You will beat them in Kigali. Silly. If you have those two players, Victor Osimhen up front and Ademola Lookman, I hope they are fit there. With a very strong midfield, you will beat them. Because you will stab them on the ball in the midfield. They will not know the movements of those boys up front. That is where you will punish them. You cannot go to Kigali and play two midfielders. You cannot go to Kigali and play two midfielders. You cannot. It's not possible. They will run rings around you. We're going to struggle again. I don't know why our coaches don't listen. So for me, Benitez is my favorite, but I think that with what I'm hearing, I think it's going to be Gustavo Poyet. So what's your favorite, Chris? And just say finally, who do you think will get the job?
Like you said at the beginning of when you posted the picture, you said if you look at it, you already know who the Benitez is just there just to spice up the drama. You understand? So I did for Roger. I don't really know much about Roger, but Goose I know much about him because during the Euros I watched some of the games. So, but me personally, I would love to see Rafael Benitez, coaching Nigeria. That would be like the highlight of watching the Super Eagles. But we know that's not happening anytime soon. So I'll go with Goose.
Yeah.
Me too. I want for Rafael Benitez, because that would be. You can't tell me that if you get Benitez, that people will not say we've got a world class coach. He's a world class coach. If you get Rafael Benitez, he's a world class coach. So it'd be a good thing for us. But maybe because I love Gustavo Poyet's personality when he was playing. I don't know him as a coach. I'm sorry, I don't know as a coach. But when he was playing, there's a player that always ginger. He was someone that always ginger the team. The way he commands respect the team. So I wish if he can translate that to his coaching, I think I want him to be, because I want someone with discipline, someone that can charge the players. I want someone that can charge the players, and some of the players, they knew him when he was playing, they saw him play, I think they will want to respect him. That if he respects himself, they're going to respect him. That's why I say I want for him to be I'll prefer my number one shot to be Rafael Benitez, but I can't get him, so we'll get Gustavo Poyet. I'll go with Gus.
Yeah. Okay. For me, I think if you have to count the votes now, Gustavo Poyet is leading by 3-0, and you already had a very good and long discussion with Mikel Obi. I think that if the guy becomes Super Eagles coach, he might probably bring Mikel to work with him. Yeah, he might likely bring
that would be very, very, very nice.
Yes, it will likely bring Mikel to work with him, because Mikel knows the terrain very well. And Mikel is not a coach, but at least Mikel can just be there to actually just support him and show him the way. And the good thing is that Mikel is still in the good books for some of the NFF people, because he will say that, I called this person, they are still calling each other, that they are not cursing themselves on live on TV. so that means that it's still in the good books of the NFF. I wish them the best of luck. But what I'm hearing is that this time around, the presidency will support the area of a good manager, and they're going to release funds too. I just hope that the presidency through the Nigerian Sport Commission can put the manager, if they're going to pay him, in their payroll. Don't release the money to the NFF in their payroll. So it can like be like a government worker. The way Cameroon do.
Yes.
The way Cameroon do for their coach, it's like a government worker. So after every month, the Cameroon government will pay that man. Are you getting me? So it's like a worker. So when you working in immigration, you are collecting your salary. The Nigerian coach too also be collecting his salary. It's not as the bank account, the internet is the network is not good. That's a popular say in Nigerian bank. Network is not so that at the end of the day, these guys will be able to actually qualify. But for me, if they say that a manager that I can bet maybe say £2,000 on, that if it gets the job, I will go to bed. I will just hear that Nigeria. People are playing music in the background. If to play, say Nigeria actually will just qualify for the World Cup, I will go for Rafael Benitez because I know that he will do the job. But unfortunately, I don't think Manchu will get the job. But you can never say never. Let's hope that he actually gets the job. But let me just ask your thought about our topics today. Chris, you want to say anything about what we have been saying today when you did join? And also, I don't want to. So, Chris, let me hear from you before we wrap it up. So the link is here if you want to join the discussion. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I wanted to say that finally we have candidates for the Nigeria coaching position from coaches that just recently coached, had a team, like, because before, like last time, normally they hire a coach that the last time he coached was like 2 years ago. So at least we can say that these guys just, they're still fresh, they're still, they have done something. So that for me is exciting. And also talking about I watched the segment where you guys were talking about Iwobi, and seeing him now the way he's performing, I'm so happy about that. And I feel like when we get a good coach, we can really see more from him, and get a coach that can utilize him the way he's being used at Fulham. Because I feel like at the national team, it's just we don't utilize our players the way we're supposed to use them. Because I saw you guys spoke about it in one of the segments. So and I'm not happy, and it's so amazing that we have players right now that they're going to their prime. We have Lukman right now, we have Iwobi right now, and Osimhen is doing his thing. So and also Aina is on a Martin right now. So I hope that we can utilize these things and these guys can go to this World Cup, because it will be a big shame that if we can take these guys, if we can get a good coach that can take these guys, that can get the better of these guys and take them to the World Cup, it will be a massive shame. So yeah. I'm already looking forward to going to Canada and watching the game. So yeah. Guys, you guys understand, there's not every single day. Schmidt knows every single day. Like, there's no day I don't. When I see Schmidt post on his story, I rush to go see whether I see the coach or anything. Because, bro, like, I need to see Nigeria at the World Cup, man. I need to see Lukman. I need to see these guys at the World Cup. Because after this World Cup, the next one is going to be when? And by that time, these guys are already in 33, 32 and stuff like that. So we need to really, really, really get to the World Cup.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I have to say.
Yeah, your take.
Yes,
quick take.
Yeah, I agree with Chris, and that's why I'm happy with this news. But I don't want to go with any of these comments when I said it's Lambert that none of them will super good, because if they do, if one of them should be signed, I think all these Felix Agu and Co. It should be easier for these guys to come Super Eagles.
Like Smith, if Smith has going to be the coach.
Yes, even Schmidt, Poyet, every one of them, because they look outside, they see, because they want results. It will be a thing of joy for them to come to. So it will be easier for them to come to Super Eagles. I'm sure by then we'll not be getting players from EFU, all those Sigida big stars again, which I think will be a thing of joy, you know. So I want for us because, like what you say, it's like the next World Cup, we always call it destiny changing World Cup.
Destiny changing World Cup.
That what you always call it. That because some
Yes,
people
it's a destiny changing World Cup. Canada.
Yeah, Canada,
Canada.
USA. So that like I've been saying, I have business to do here. If they can qualify, it will be easier for me. It should boost my morale to go and do that negotiation, everything. And that's what I want us to go. And another thing, for these boys, aside the foreign born and the few ones that were born in Nigeria that have served this country rigorously, that have done well for the national team, I want them to at least to feel the taste of the World Cup. Because if these guys don't qualify now, I'm telling you, they cannot go to the World Cup again. They cannot.
Yeah.
They cannot.
I also agree with you 100% that this is now or never. But, on this point, this is where we should wrap it up. I want to appreciate everybody for actually joining. We started from the home front about the Chan Eagles, and we'll give you next week. We'll preview the game between Nigeria and Ghana. Then, just to let you know about that game, talk about the Nigerian under-17 national team too, the Flamingos. We discussed about our new segment, Scouting Nigeria abroad. We focused on the German Bundesliga. That is where Chris comes from, Germany. We scouted 8 players. We took out Antonio Nusa because he's not eligible again to play for Nigeria, and also Karim Adeyemi is not eligible. But I can tell you that Karim Adeyemi's issue is still debatable. But for now, he's not eligible. We took them out, so we focus on the 8 players eligible to play for Nigeria currently. So next week we'll focus on a different country. I won't tell you the country. So we're going to pick out youngsters that can actually still represent Nigeria at any level. You want to ask me a question, before I continue?
Yes, like if Karim Adeyemi is still eligible, would you want him to play for Nigeria?
I will just bench the guy in your club straight away. Then Adeyemi takes his space. There's no business. If that one can be Fufu playing for Nigeria. Fufu? I will take Fufu.
That boy is good. I will just say this thing now. I think I will just say this thing as like the FIFA World Club competition is the most useless competition in the world, because I don't see any reason why I'm going to leave out the second most successful club in European competition in the inaugural World Cup.
Let's